ABC, this is Ron. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I've got a rare Neil Young album to share today. Something I've been looking for probably the last 15-20 years. And I kind of knew the story behind it, but I didn't know all the details until I looked it up on the internet. And yeah, so like every time I'd go into the record store, I would check the Comes a Time album out, you know. And sometimes I would find the original album cover variation, but it would have the common LP on the inside. But I didn't give up. I mean, I can't tell you how many copies I've looked at, probably 100 at least. But I didn't give up, and I finally found one. And it's actually pretty amazing that I did find it, because it's actually quite rare. So let's start off with the most common version first, and this is it right here. This is the version that everybody knows, everybody sees. It's in the original shrink, and it's got a price tag sticker of $5.99 in the corner. And this album was originally released in September of 1978. And this is the label, Reprise label, and this did not have a custom inner sleeve. They were all generic inner sleeves. So that would be basically probably considered the third state. This would probably be considered the second state, and it's a promotional copy. It has a sticker, and it has a gold embossed stamp on the front. And on the back, you'll notice that it has a sticker pasted across the song order. And what they did was, the purpose of that was they actually corrected the song order, as this jacket is actually underneath contains the original intended running order for side 1 that was changed. And no white label promos of this were pressed, as far as I know. They were all stock labels with a designated promo cover. And this is the version that I picked up last weekend. And you can see on side 1 it has Lotta Love as closing the side. Now the more common version of this album, it has Lotta Love as second to the last track, and Peace of Mind closes side 1. So what they did was they changed it around because Neil was dissatisfied with that song order. This album, before it got out, it was plagued with all kinds of problems. It took nearly a year for it to actually get out on the shelves. There was several test pressings made. The original title of this album was going to be called Give to the Wind, which that was eventually changed to Comes a Time. And yeah, there was a mechanical flaw that caused a ticking sound in the music, so they had to keep investigating that and trying to correct it. So everything finally got all corrected, and they pressed this album up in early August of 1978, and you can see Lotta Love closes side 1. And I actually did play this, and it does play the original song order. So the story behind this is they pressed up, I read 200,000 copies. And after they got pressed up, Neil decided, hey, I don't like that song order, I want it changed. So, I mean, they had all these thousands of copies already pressed. So Neil agreed to buy them all. So he had the whole shipment sent from the Warner Brothers warehouse in California to his ranch, while they made the corrections on the running order and started the pressing process over again. So the story goes from Neil's interviews and stuff. He took all 200,000 or so copies and he used them for target practice on his ranch. Shotgun, 22, whatever he wanted to use, and he destroyed them. And then in a 2014 interview I read that he revealed that he took a lot of those copies and he used them as shingles on his barn. So this is actually one of the albums that escaped Neil's doomed fate of destruction. And what I read was a lot of these got sent out for promotional purposes to music industry people or to radio stations or whoever. I would imagine that would probably be limited to several thousand or several hundred copies, I would say, because they're just so hard to find, and I just can't believe that I actually found a copy. If you look in the trail off, it has RE in the dead wax, it has RE2 engraved in the dead wax. RE1 would be the original test pressing, and then they went through a couple of test pressings, and then they did a RE2 test pressing. So this is a RE2, and the most common version that I showed earlier, this version, is actually an RE3. So yeah, this is some information I got off of the internet. If I can determine the website, I will put that on the video. So if any of you guys are interested, you can look it up and you can check it out. And this is also a US picture sleeve that came out to promote the Comes a Time album. So that pretty much does it. Yeah, being a big Neil Young fan, I was just blown away when I found that, and they go for several $100s. It's kind of you know, whatever you can get out of it, kind of a thing. It's so unique and hardly ever seen, and never hardly ever changes hands. It's pretty much whatever you can get out of it at the time. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So until next time.